Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, from whatever time zone you may be in. This is Off the Grid Podcast with Aiden and Jared.
Getting unauthorized access to the truth.
And in this podcast, we are in episode 39, I believe, right?
Yes. Yep.
And we're going to be discussing a large topic today, something that both Aiden and I were really interested, very passionate about. So
yeah, and Jared's been wanting to talk about this one actually for a while. So
yeah, it's a topic actually I wanted to discuss like all the way last year, but
yeah,
we never got around to it. Yeah, we never got around. It was a little too hectic, with around last year. So we actually did not. Speaking of last year, real quick, we didn't get into that much podcasting last year as much as we wanted to,
Yeah.
But
and guys, just so you know, we are still using Zoom because we are still in quarantine. So that's the reason why the screens are split. It seems if you see that. So yeah.
Yeah, which
letting you guys know.
It's actually been working out pretty well for us right now.
Yes, it has been.
So anyways, I'd like to jump right into it.
Yes.
But before we start, please do subscribe to our channel so then you can stay up to date with all of our podcasts that get uploaded, so you guys can enjoy us over long distance.
Yes.
We are social distancing podcasts, which is actually quite interesting. So so do subscribe.
This has been a really, before I start signing off, but this has been a really interesting way to podcast.
Yeah, it has. It's been working pretty well. So what I've been wanting to discuss is the concept of safe zones or safe spaces, as some people will say it. But it's not what you think. It's not like
a military quarantine.
Yeah, it's not like it's not a safe place for, some battle area. It's like to stay secure. No, this is like something that is put in schools and in colleges. So
colleges mostly, right?
I think so.
You mostly hear about it in college, I think.
Yeah. And so anyways, for people who aren't familiar with what a safe zone is, we can show you exactly what it is.
Yes.
Okay, so what is a safe zone? And this is from safezoneproject.com, I'm assuming is what it is. I can't see exactly that. Oh, yeah.
And I'm guessing that these guys are proponents of it, right?
Yeah, they're pro safe zone.
Okay.
And so what the heck
is this, Jared?
So you may have seen a sticker or a sign that says safe zone or safe zone trained, which actually I have seen those on campus because I go to Kent State, if you don't already know. And I've actually seen it on like an office window or something before.
Really?
Safe zone sticker. I don't think I've seen safe zone trained before, but I've definitely seen safe zone on there.
Yeah.
And so these visual indicators can mean a variety of things in different communities. So most often we find they indicate that the person displaying the sticker has gone through a safe zone training and wants to communicate to others that they are open to talking about and being supportive of the LGBTQ individuals and identities, which is pretty self-explanatory, I guess.
What that means, yeah.
So sometimes that's not what these signs mean. Sometimes the person hasn't attended a training, but it's simply saying that they're trying to be friendly, like I'm an ally.
Okay.
So I guess, which I think that's more so what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Or my interpretation of it is that it's a safe place for you to go and, discuss whatever's on your mind regarding, like you can be yourself, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
A safe place
without being judged.
Yeah, without being judged. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think there's nothing else really that I wanted to discuss there, but
It's about training mostly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we're not.
But we don't want to get trained, so.
Yeah. So we're all good on that front. But basically, what I just wanted to say was explain it to you guys because not everyone knows what a safe zone or a safe space is. But that's what it is.
So basically, it's a space where LGBTQ people in the community can go to feel like they are wanted and appreciated, right?
Right.
Okay.
And the issue with this is that there is not safe spaces or safe zones out in the workforce, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna prepare you for real life, right?
Yeah, where
The real world.
there's not like a safe space at your office where you can, just other than the bathroom maybe, where you're
Yeah.
not, judged for that. But even then, it's just like, where do I go to the bathroom?
That bathroom debate's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But like, even then,
Whole nother
that's not a safe
podcast.
place. Yeah, whole nother podcast for another day.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
And also I have used this example with you, Jared. Might be a bit over the top, but the military definitely doesn't have safe spaces.
right. Yeah, like
Like military training and stuff. Like if you want to be a soldier, you don't expect to have any safe spaces
yeah,
when you're
there's
training.
yeah, it's like no, they really don't care about your feelings like that.
Yep.
That's not their concern. Their concern is to get you trained for what lies ahead. And do you
War,
think,
yeah.
and what do you think that the enemy is going to care whether they hurt your feelings or not? Like,
No, they're gonna try to kill you.
yeah, I mean, like, what are they gonna be like? Oh, sorry, I don't mean to offend. Like, I know you're gay,
I
and
mean,
I'm very
even
support.
ISIS, there were reports that ISIS throws gay people off of buildings, so obviously they don't care.
Yeah, I'm no,
Which is wrong, obviously. It's obviously very, very wrong for them to do that.
yeah,
It's
but
very
like,
wrong.
if they're going into the army, I mean, that's the extreme, I guess, the extreme side
Yeah.
of things. But most people are going to just be going into a regular workforce of some
Yeah.
kind,
Yep. That's what we're
whether
talking about.
whether
Yes.
that be, just working at a restaurant or working in an office like setting, like it's just stuff like that. Like,
McDonald's.
I mean, there's not going to be a safe zone at your restaurant, for you to go, feel safe. I mean, it's a workplace. You know what I mean?
You're meant to work and earn money.
Yeah, you're going to be encountering people of all sorts of different viewpoints, and how they feel about you is, I mean,
Kind
like
of irrelevant.
yeah, I mean, what are they going to see a sticker on the door and say, "Oh, this is a safe zone. I can't judge them." You know what I mean? Like, there's
No.
you.
Although I feel, Jared, and I don't know if you agree with this,
Mhm.
I kind of feel that the workforce is becoming more and more like safe zoned, if you know what I mean.
You mean like you're not allowed to say what's on your mind, or
No. They're starting to be more accepting. I mean, which is okay. But
yeah,
like, like of LGBTQ people.
yeah,
I mean, dude, what was that story that you told me? Like, I forgot what was showing about like a giant eagle, because that's where you work, right?
yeah. What I was saying was is that there's there was a person that worked there, which I'm not going to name names.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
But this person that used to work there right when I first started, he was very outgoing that he was gay. I mean,
yeah,
he would make sure you knew that he was gay,
yeah,
and he would dress up against dress code policy and would make a big scene, like doing like making his hair, for example, like really strange colors, or painting
yeah.
his nails, or wearing the wrong attire to work, like just a combination of all that. And Giant Eagle would say something to him, like someone that worked there would say like, hey, like a manager or something would say, hey, you can't be wearing that here.
You need to
That's
wear
not,
all your clothes.
it's not appropriate for work.
Yeah,
And, he would lash back at them and say, well, you just don't like gay people.
like what in the world?
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, that's not the issue here. The issue is being that you're making a scene, and you're
You're wanting everyone to know
you're
that you're gay.
you're disregarding dress code policy is what you're doing. I mean,
You're
like
gonna be
this
fired.
this policy applies to everyone. It doesn't just apply to you it's not applying to you just because you're gay. No, it applies to everyone.
Straight people, gay people,
Yeah,
everyone.
it does. It doesn't. There's no bias in
Dress code.
in dress code. It's just like them are the rules.
Yep. Yes, sir.
So it's like the rules, like from the Fairly Odd Parents, the big rule
Um,
book.
the
The
freaking
rules.
army guy.
Yeah.
Oh man. But seriously though, back to Giant Eagle for a second. If you don't like the rules, there's the door.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. He got fired
Mm.
because he actually got so upset that he just like left. He walked out like in the middle of his shift. He's just like, he's done. It's like, okay, you're fired. You know, like if you're just gonna walk out
way
like
too
that.
offended. He went to a safe space.
Yeah.
Uh,
But we have
oh
a
man.
I actually do have my own safe space. You want to know what that is?
With an AR-15.
No, no, Aiden, no.
Just kidding.
No, there's a
Because of
safe.
conservative.
No, I guess, but there's a safe space where we can talk about anything we want here on this podcast. So this is the safe place to talk about whatever the heck we want, you know?
Yes.
So that's my
We're
safe
gonna get
space.
tons of dude, this podcast though, when we release this, we're gonna get tons of hate comments.
Yeah, so feel free to comment on what we're talking about today.
Yeah, please. And any way you see fit.
Yeah, so whether it's a nice
Hateful
comment or hateful, we want to
we
get
accept
your
both.
feedback. Yeah.
Yes. Please, we need comments desperately.
Yes. Oh, by the way, we do appreciate, like, we did get some comments on our last podcast.
One of the guys' names was Liam. So shout out to you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you for commenting. That was a nice comment. And well, just in general, like any type of comment, just some engagement is nice. We really do appreciate the comments, and that was really cool. But anyways, back to the subject.
Sorry if I pronounced that name wrong, though, by the way.
So yeah, so anyways, yeah, he just basically walked out one day, and we never saw him work there again. Like he was fired and he's gone. But guess what? He had the audacity to come back to Giant Eagle multiple times and shop. So like after he was already fired, he would walk back in and do his shopping like it was just normal. Like just
nothing happened.
Yeah, just the other day he was in the store. So
people like that are so annoying.
I mean, yeah, then there was another person, unrelated, obviously, but
yeah,
she was just like, she got hired at the same time as me.
Yeah.
And she only lasted about maybe a week or two. And then and then she just like no call, no show. And she just ended up getting fired because she like didn't show up like 3 times or something for work. So that's like an immediate fire right there. But it's like,
it is.
Not to be judgmental, but she is a mother of like, she has like a child. So isn't she?
Where's the money to pay? Where's the money coming from to pay for?
Yeah, like wouldn't you want to have the job so that you could support your kid?
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe she has someone else that's supporting her financially, but
still, you should want to work and support your kids.
Exactly. It's a little strange because I'm like, I'm so confused. I'm like, I don't have, anyone I'm trying to support. I'm just supporting my bank account. But it's like,
Shane, get that money.
If anything, I should have been the person that would have like just like not showed up to work because I didn't care. But no, I actually care about having a job, making money.
Dude. Me too. And so you have buddies though you mess around with.
Yeah. So anyways, so that's basically the gist of the safe zones. But
yeah. Anyway, back to the topic at hand though.
Yeah, so safe zones basically is like Aiden was alluding to, or making the comparison to how the one gay guy at my job, he felt like he wasn't safe and he walked out of the building. But it's not Giant Eagle's duty to say, like, put a sticker on the door that says safe zone. You can, we're not allowed to be judgmental here. No, it's like naturally humans are going to judge each other. It's just, it's not that you can't tell someone don't judge them because obviously they're going to judge them. It's natural. Like,
people judge me for my autism. I mean,
yeah, we all get judged for different things. Like you get judged for your appearance all the time. Like everyone does,
Yeah.
I mean,
that's just a natural part of.
Yeah. It's like how
life.
We got to like size each other up, we got to, you look at each other and be like, okay, well, like I think it's almost like a natural thing. Like, are you a challenge to me sort of thing?
Yeah.
Or just, it's like a
sizing each other up and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a natural thing. But people get real offended over like, they're like, don't judge me. It's like, okay, well, calm down. Like this, literally everyone does that.
Don't judge me.
Right. Like, Goodness gracious. There are people like that.
Yep, true that.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, do you have like any comments on safe zones, like how that affects people?
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Have you experienced any personally? Like, have you walked by any, or have you?
Yeah, I actually have. At like I said, at Kent State, there was like an office, multiple offices that have that sticker on there that we showed on the website, that safe zone sticker. Um, like it said, there's multiple meanings to what a safe zone is, but
Right.
but my
It typically
assumption,
means LGBTQ.
yeah, that's what it means. Obviously, that's the base meaning of it, but it's also the fact that there's that it's like a safe place to be yourself, I guess. But in real life, there's no real safe place to be yourself.
Right. Right.
I
You don't
mean,
have to fight for that crap.
yeah, you have to just don't worry about what other people think. Maybe that's the way you got to go about
Best way
it.
to put it.
And
Yeah.
instead of letting other people, have to set up an environment for you to do it, you know, instead of doing that, just be yourself. You got to take
Yeah.
the initiative,
Yes.
is I think a good way to put it.
It's a
Um,
perfect analogy, Jared. I mean, perfect way to put it.
yeah, because you can't rely on a place of business to be like, you can't judge people, for how they look, because you do that all the time. I mean, it's just a natural thing. So you can't, that really sets up people to be snowflakes. And and
I
if you
love
don't
that term so
and
much.
if you don't know what a snowflake is, for the people who are listening, a snowflake is basically someone who's so sensitive to every single comment,
Yeah.
and they basically, they complain about every single little thing, and they're just like, like, this person said this about me. It's like, okay, well, so,
Not being a
or
snowflake is what you would say.
yeah, like, you're being a real snowflake,
Yeah.
and that's a lot of the, a lot of,
Conservative side that
yeah, I
says
think
that.
that's where that term generally came from.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I've definitely heard that term used against people who make an issue out of nothing. That's, and then
By people
like,
like Ben Shapiro. That's one of his favorite terms.
yeah, yeah, it's definitely one
Woo,
of our
Ben.
yeah, but we have a video with Ben Shapiro later on in this
In this
podcast.
podcast.
By the way,
Yes,
this
that's
is
an illusion. Yes.
it's a packed podcast today, folks. So stay
Yeah.
tuned. If
Strap in.
we got to, yeah, strap your seatbelts on. This is gonna be a long ride. All
Yes,
right,
sir.
so our next topic is very controversial, or has been very controversial in the past. And Aiden, you want to discuss this one, right?
Yeah, and I found this one. You've all heard about the gay cake, that huge story, right, Jared?
Yeah.
So, okay, so this says SCOTUS kicks another gay wedding cake case down the road. And this is from Daily Wire, in case you guys don't know. So,
Hmm.
this says, unfortunately, religious freedom will have to keep on waiting to get its full day at the U.S. Supreme Court. According to Fox News, love that site, the highest court in the land has kicked yet another same-sex wedding cake case back down to a lower court. The lower court will decide the case based on the flimsy rubric laid out last term in the Masterpiece Cake Shop decision. The Supreme Court on Monday threw out a ruling against two Oregon bakers who refused to bake a wedding cake for a lesbian couple, the outlet reported. The couple, Melissa and Aaron Klein, cited religious beliefs as the reason for not providing services for a gay wedding. Last year, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the Colorado Civil Rights Commission showed open hostility to Masterpiece Cake Shop owner Jack Phillips's religious beliefs upon penalizing him for refusing to bake a cake for a gay wedding. Though the court ruled in Phillips's favor, it made no definitive ruling that could apply more broadly to religious Americans in artistic fields like photography, baking, floristry, and other services. And this is a quote. This is in quotes here. The commission's hostility was inconsistent with the First Amendment to guarantee that our laws be applied in a manner that is neutral toward religion, the 2018 ruling said. Phillips was entitled to a neutral decision maker who would give full and fair consideration to his religious objection, as he sought to assert it in all of the circumstances in which this case was presented, considered, and decided. The outcome of cases like this and other circumstances must await further evaluation in the court. And going forward, a lower court will now determine if the clients were indeed subject to unfair hostility when the state of Oregon ordered them to pay a hefty $135,000 fine for allegedly discriminating against a lesbian couple that wanted them to bake the cake for their wedding. If a similar case out of Washington provides any indication, the lower court might rule that the clients were treated impartially by the Oregon justice system, forcing the couple to continue fighting for a definitive ruling by the Supreme Court. Wow.
Okay, so
And then we have Ace Sweatpants.
yeah. So anyways, so is this article basically saying that um that the people that were filed a lawsuit against the owners of the cake shop, that they're at fault, or is it
No,
or
this is supporting
they're
the.
okay, they're okay right now? They were seen as they were in the right.
They were white. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I thought so. That's what I thought it was. But so,
Which Joe, we can go back to the regular. Then, but yeah, they are in the white, Jared. I mean, what is your view on this?
no, I mean, so what I'm saying is that the couple, the lesbian couple, right?
Yeah.
The lesbian couple was saying, or still trying to fight this.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
my view on this is that I believe that the cake shop owners have the right to deny that, because
Yeah.
it has to do religiously with their beliefs.
Yeah.
You know, they
It is a Christian-owned cake shop, I think, too. So
yeah, and that's
the Bible
their
says that that's a sin.
yeah. So
So I mean,
that's their right to to deny making a
just
cake
as
for
it
that
is,
reason.
just as it is the right for them to be gay in this country.
Yeah, they have a right, but they're infringing upon the religious freedom
Yeah.
that these people
No, no,
have.
no, 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 no. My analogy was that just as it's right to be gay in this country, it's also okay to have your own religious freedom and be
Right,
able
but
to.
but what I'm saying is that they're conflicting each other.
Yeah. Yep.
This is where it gets a little hairy, is when two of these rights are conflicting with each other in this type of situation where the cake owners refuse to make a cake for a lesbian couple.
Yeah.
That's a conflicting rights issue. And and I feel like the religious freedom is correct in this situation.
Yeah.
Because think about this, Aiden. This lesbian couple could have went to any other cake shop, but why did they?
I
Well,
feel that they had an agenda there. Yeah.
yeah,
Good point. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think they went to this cake shop on
To try to
purpose,
start
just
something.
just to try to start something, to challenge them, to see if they would actually make the cake or not. And they were right. They were right in their assumption that they weren't going to make the cake, and they're like, well, now we can take you to court for this.
And they had to take it to Supreme Court. Like what? Like the Supreme Court has enough trouble without having to.
Yeah, and now they're dealing with an issue over cake. Are you
Right.
serious?
The only issue over cake you should be dealing with is in Portal.
Yeah, and the only
Well,
cake
that's
you
the goal
should
of the
be
game.
the only issue you should be deciding with cake is what flavor of cake you want. Not
Chocolate.
yeah, you know what I mean? But like no, they're seriously
Did you get my
fighting
reference?
over huh?
Did you get my porn reference?
Not really, because I don't
The cake is a
play the
lie.
game, but
The cake is a lie. People in the comments,
anyway.
anyone in the comments, comment if you understand that reference.
Yeah, I don't. Anyways,
Anyway, of course.
I don't play that game. So, anyways,
Obviously.
what I was saying was is they
Uh,
could have went to any other cake shop. It didn't have to be
a Christian
that one.
owned.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think, like Aiden said, they had an
They
agenda.
were trying to start something.
Yeah. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously they probably were definitely getting married, but they're like, well, we can, let's see if we can get
Start
something
a
out
little
of this.
trouble.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
see if we can stir up something, and they
Here
were
comes
hoping maybe
trouble. Make a double.
yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, so I think that's basically what it is.
yeah.
They wanted to
Yep.
cause that issue.
And why is that one, Joe? I'd like to finish that part of this podcast off.
Because they Or like this part of the podcast, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I I don't know. It's just it's wrong that they would try starting that up. It's like it's putting the LGBTQ plus community in a bad light.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, because it's making them look like they're just trying to start something all the time and trying to cause issues.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes back to the issue with Giant Eagle. Like the
And
guy
I was
that,
just gonna say that. Yeah.
yeah, the guy that worked there, he was claiming that Giant Eagle was infringing upon his rights to be gay. And it's like,
Oh
no,
my goodness.
it's
Nope.
like,
You didn't
no,
dress right.
yeah, it's like, no, what you were doing is that you're
A scene.
causing an issue, causing a scene, and you're going against the dress code, and that's the same thing like with this cake shop. They're causing issues.
Oh my gosh, people are so.
It's like, why
Oh,
don't you just try like,
bake your own freaking cake.
yeah, bake your own freaking cake. No.
Oh,
No, I mean,
oh.
no, they had to go to that one cake shop, that one
They
Christian
had to,
cake shop.
yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't go to any other shop that was local. I'm sure
There's
that
probably
they're,
a cake shop that fully supports that, probably somewhere in the
yeah,
world.
or maybe just a cake shop that isn't religiously based. So,
Yeah,
doesn't matter what religion you're in,
right.
but that's, that they did that on purpose. So,
Yeah,
anything else on
that's
that?
no, that's enough for that. Like that, yeah, that sums that up pretty well.
Yeah.
So,
So,
Joe, do we have any more articles?
yes, plenty of articles. So,
Yes.
we got more, don't worry. Anyways, so
We got more. Oh, you
this
thought we were done, huh?
yeah. So
It's like, oh,
anyways,
man.
there's all of the topics that we're discussing today are regarding LGBTQ
BTQ.
plus.
And
And
we want to stress this though, first and foremost. We do not hate these people at all.
right.
We fully support this movement. But
Yeah.
what we are trying to say is please do not try to infringe your views upon us. Like force them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is that the
Right.
point of this? Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to like push it upon us. Like we support you, in your choice to, go down the road you want to, but just, don't push it upon us like we have to be,
We have to be
gay,
accepting
or
of.
we have,
Like
it's like,
we have to, yeah.
yeah, it's like we're straight, so that's how we are,
Yeah.
we don't
Yep.
have to, just because we're males doesn't mean we have to be gay or something.
Right,
It's like
exactly.
we can be straight if we want to, it's
Yep.
we
And we
you
are proud of it.
the
We're straight
same
and we're
way,
proud.
that you want us to accept you, you should accept us.
With us, yes.
I
Yep.
think that's how it should be.
Yes, sir.
But
100%.
I think that's overlooked a lot.
Yes, it is. And it makes me
So
sad and mad.
we're
And
just
wine,
kind of
but
we're just kind of we're trying to cover a lot of this, a lot of these different topics into one podcast, because I feel like, instead, because it would be a really short podcast if we just
if we
talked
just
about
come to the
safe
safe
zones.
spaces. Yeah.
So there's a lot to discuss, and plus, instead of making like mini little episodes of, different things along this thing that we're going to be talking about today, let's just we're going to just cover different subjects.
Yeah. So what is the next subject then, Jared? It's another
Yes.
big one, right?
So kids,
Oh, kids, yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
this is regarding
this is.
kids, and this is
Huh,
something
we talked about kids last week.
we did.
Pizzagate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. To your last
um
podcast.
yeah, so
And
anyway,
we talked about it in a much darker tone though. So if you watch that, again,
yeah.
disclaimer. But yeah. Anyway
Yeah.
though.
So this is something that I'm very passionate about when it comes to this
Oh
issue.
yeah. Me too, and I've
Um,
heard of this, yes. What
so
we're gonna talk about next.
I'm sure you guys are aware that of the issue of letting kids choose their own gender.
Yeah, do you want to explain for anyone, like just real quick, Jared, what transgender is in case they've been living under an absolute rock? They don't know what
Well, it's basically
something's
just,
about.
I'm sure everyone knows, but
Yeah,
transitioning from either male to female or female to male,
right, yeah.
yeah, is
Just
basically
because they
what it
feel
is.
like
They
just
feel like
because
they don't belong in the body they're given or something.
yeah. Yep.
I don't know. I'm not trans, so I wouldn't know exactly how to explain it best. But
Yeah.
I think
And if there
that's the
anyone
way you
is
would.
that's trans and listening to this, please comment. Let us know how you would define it.
Yeah. So basically, this issue is about letting kids, meaning like under the age of 18,
Yeah. Yep.
choose their gender. And
Uh.
I don't have so much an issue with, say, like, okay, say there's like a 17-year-old that's choosing to be a male instead of a female or something.
Right, because
You
they're
know,
almost an
because
adult. So
yeah, because they're almost an adult and they've went through their hormonal changes as in puberty.
yeah.
Um, you know, but like what I do have an issue with is a 7-year-old or a 9-year-old or something like that
Well, in
choosing
some
to
cases,
even younger.
yeah, you're gonna hear how crazy this gets.
Yeah, there's I have actually a couple articles regarding this issue. But anyways, yeah, that's my issue. What do you think about that?
I don't have much else to say. I mean, you described this perfectly.
You're on the
I
same
fully.
wavelength. All
Oh yeah, exactly the same. It is
right.
disturbing and it is appalling to me.
Yeah, usually me and Aiden have the same take on everything, but
Yes,
you know,
sir.
once in a while we'll disagree.
Like on the
But
marijuana podcast we did.
yeah, that was an interesting one. Check that
Yes, it
out if
was.
you
It was
haven't.
fun. Please, yeah, check that out. Yeah.
So anyways, let me show you we found a poll on here of
Yes.
what type of or where the stance is for different
What percentage
people.
of people?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
percentage of people agree with letting their kids choose their gender? And this is what I found. I will show you.
This is pretty fascinating, guys.
Yes.
Not that article. We already read
All
that.
right, so debate.org put a poll up saying, should
Oh
children be
wow.
allowed to choose which gender they identify with?
Zoom in on this. This is crazy.
All
This
right,
is
so
crazy.
20% say yes, only 20%.
Wow.
Now,
There's no harm in letting
all right,
any kid
so
choose their own. Yeah.
yeah, there's no harm in letting any kid choose their own gender. If you don't let them, they will most likely not trust you later in life and may actively avoid you. There are all kinds of genders: girl, boy, agender, gender fluid, gender queer, demi girl, demi
Oh,
boy.
Demi boy.
What is this, like a demigod or something?
Oh, Demi
Like half
boy.
human. Danny boy, the pipes are calling.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's barely scraping the surface. Just let them do what feels right to them.
Oh,
Okay.
YOLO.
YOLO. So, anyways, so only 20% say
Oh.
yes on that, and then on the flip side,
Oh
obviously,
wow.
80% say no.
And this I fully agree with.
Yeah, so it basically states what I just said. They are young children, no matter how old. They are way too old, or way too what? No,
Way
are
too
way too
young.
young.
What did I?
They're way
Did you
too
mess
old.
that up?
They're way too old for this. Children, no matter how old, are way too young to make such a
There we
huge
go.
decision, especially children who undergo surgery. A child should appreciate the body they are given and cherish it rather than changing it. What if later on in life the child decides they're
The
unhappy with
child.
themselves? Te child. No, I think it meant the, but
That's a typo.
yeah.
The
So anyway,
child.
te child. Oh wait, gender is not an option. We have all these social justice warriors out there who think they know best for our children, but they don't. All they are doing is creating confusion in children's lives. Children should be out playing and having fun, not worrying about whether or not they are born the right gender. This is crazy and very damaging to our youth, or our future. I agree with that.
These people are going to be voting who our president is. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, well, I agree with that comment there.
yeah,
That's very true if you think about it, because you know, kids shouldn't be worrying about their sexuality. You
yeah,
know, they're too young to be, you know, going on the dating scene and going out to restaurants or going out to movies with their significant other. You know,
yeah.
that shouldn't be any of their worry, because their concentration is on being a kid and having fun and just, you know,
And
just having fun playing with your toys at home and playing
oh, the toy
video
thing is
game.
another debate that we're
Yeah,
going to get into.
yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But
No, no. Would you want to cover that at, after this poll that we're talking about?
yeah, well, let's just go into it now. That's basically everything on that website. So it basically shows you here that wear its ways. It's pretty
The vast
significant.
majority says no. Yeah.
The vast majority say it's not a good idea to let your children choose what their
Right. With
gender
gender,
is.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Like I said, which it didn't say specifically in the article, but what I said was that their hormones are not completely changed yet
They're
to,
still going through puberty.
yeah, they still got to go through puberty. So like the age of 9, they should not be, considering what gender they are. It's too
Right.
early for that. They should be
Right.
enjoying being kids, you know.
Yeah.
You're not going to
Now
worry about getting married at the age of 9,
Right.
so why are you worried about it?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Jared brought up the issue of toys.
Well, what's your opinion on it? I want to hear yours first.
Well, no. Let's explain what that is first.
Yeah, you go ahead, Aiden.
So this is an issue that is huge. Like, parents are letting boys play with Barbie dolls and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the reason that this is one, I myself haven't done too much research into this topic, but I think the reason is why it's one is that it's implanting the idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
At a very young age, right? You want to explain this a little bit because I haven't really done research into this. What?
It's just trying. It's basically it's stemming down from, if like say your kid is like 5 years old and you give them a Barbie doll and they're a boy. You're basically trying to make them, be possibly attracted to males. I mean, that's a possibility, right?
Yeah.
It's like planting the idea that you're a girl, not a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the
Give them toy
gender,
soldiers.
I mean, dude, there's a thing called gender stereotypes.
Yeah.
Like
There's
how
a reason
men,
for that, though.
like how, yeah, there's a reason. It's a natural thing, like we were discussing earlier.
If you're,
Uh, like for
oh man,
example, Aiden, like how men are in, back in ancient times are considered to be the hunter gatherer. Like they go out,
yep.
they get all the food, bring it back, and like,
The wife stays home,
they're
and
yeah, the wife stays home, takes care of the kids, and that's just how it is,
yeah,
and generally that's how it is with animals, like birds, for example. I mean,
yeah,
I know it's crazy, but like, just an example, like the mom would stay back with the egg in the nest and keep it warm, and then the father would go out and collect worms, bring the worms back, and feed the baby,
yep,
and feed his wife, bring the
right,
food back. Like
yeah.
she's doing the job of
Hey,
watching
baby,
over
I
the
bought
kid.
you dinner.
I mean, I mean, that's a team, working together to take care of this kid. That's it's a natural instinct,
Yes, sir.
but people nowadays, the woke community, I guess you could say,
Oh gosh,
they're
that word
they're
is misconstrued so much.
they're trying to make it seem like it's a bad thing, and it's not, because it's a natural thing. And why you want to
If you
change
have a,
why you're trying to change something that's so genetically ingrained in our DNA,
I was
I
gonna
don't
say
know. It's
something
beyond me.
kind of, I'm gonna say something controversial, but I mentioned this to you.
Okay, go ahead and say it.
If you have, never mind. You know what? No, I'm gonna save it for later.
Okay.
I think you know, but anyway,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, so it's a natural thing. You just look at wildlife and natural. The examples in wildlife. It's not just a human thing. It's not like we just made it up. Like, yeah, you're the woman, so you stay home and you make me a sandwich.
Right.
It's like that
Carol
was never a
Baskin,
thing. Now, Carol Baskin.
you
No,
make me a sandwich.
that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
No. That's because you have the voice. You use the voice like, might be a sandwich.
Oh, oh, okay. I was like, where are you getting that from?
Yeah,
I wasn't
yeah.
paying attention. I wasn't
Carol
trying to
Baskin,
aim.
make me a sandwich.
I wasn't trying to aim for that. That wasn't the whole point, but never mind.
Oh.
Anyways,
Yeah.
now
Oh, good lord.
that being said, I'm not saying that, that it's a bad thing for the woman to be like the breadwinner in the family, and bring all the money home. Like, I have no issue with, you know,
Women working.
the woman doing a lot of working, and, the the man staying home or something and watch it. It's like
Right.
there's no problem with that. Do
But
what it.
and you can also put it from a religious perspective.
Hmm.
In the Bible, God ordains men to be the father and the leader of their family.
Hmm.
That's how it is. He's supposed to be the leader of the household and guide everyone
Hmm.
and teach values and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also seen as a negative thing too if like a guy is just sitting at home and being a slob,
Yep.
and not working. That can be seen as a very negative thing. Like as the man needs to be the breadwinner and needs to be doing stuff.
The leader, as I said, yeah.
Yeah, as the leader. But what if leading is considered to be watching the family at home?
Yeah.
Like it all depends from family to family. What I'm saying is like what if the woman in the household, like she has a very important job, like say she worked for the government or something, a government agency like the FBI or something, and she has to leave for work on a special operation that they're conducting, and it's like so she has to leave a lot and has to be away from home, so she needs someone
That
at
leaves
the
the
house.
man to take care of the house, yeah.
Yeah, like what if he's like what if he does his business online or something,
Yeah.
or something like that. He can kind of watch the kids and also do work from home, you know.
Yep.
So
Hmm.
it's different from family to family, but I
Yeah.
do
But
think it.
generally the man are the ones that go out there and get it done, I guess you can say.
Right, yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
um yeah, so
That has been the stereotype, at least.
yeah, that's the stereotype. And these woke community
All I have to say is that the woke community,
they try to change what's genetically been here for thousands of years.
yeah,
This is not something that is I
anything
mean,
old.
it's not considered, yeah, it's not anything new. It's been
And not
around.
anything new, I mean, anything new.
Yeah,
I said old.
it's
Oops.
not anything old.
No,
No,
this is
it's
old. This is ancient.
yeah, this is ancient time situations that we're in right now, like that were apparently is bad all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It went from
You're trying to change thousands of years of genetics.
and this is going a bit off topic, but like the left changing history, trying to rewrite history, and like they don't want us being the
Informed.
yeah, they don't want us being informed about like, okay, this is what America actually did. They want to change like, okay, well, so what? America had slaves. I mean, that was just part of our
I
history. You
mean,
can't change history, dude.
yeah, I mean, also, a lot of the left doesn't believe in landing on the moon, but okay.
Really? The left that
Yeah.
is behind that?
Oh, wait, no, wait, that is us. Never mind. I will use a flat earth example. Never mind.
Yeah, so yeah, it's all interesting stuff. We can just go on all night with just talking about that.
Yes. Yeah.
Um yeah,
But,
so
but yeah, the toy thing, all of that ran is to say that that toy issue, it plants the idea in their head. That's what it does.
yeah, it makes them seem like that they need to be a girl or they need to be a boy. It's basically the same argument like what you're trying to for the people who are saying that putting these gender stereotypes on kids like, okay, this is what a man should do. This is what a
Yeah.
girl should do. It's like, okay, so if that's you're basically saying the same thing that I'm saying right here. I'm saying
Yeah.
that well, you're putting the stereotype on us then. So it's like, okay, let's just call it even, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
They cancel each other out, okay?
Yeah.
So it's just I don't know, there's no way you can fix that sort of thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's ingrained in our DNA, just how we are the gender stereotypes, sure, that's a thing, but that's ingrained. It's been since
There's a
ancient
reason for it.
times. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the
It's
Bible for
biological.
Pete's sake, too.
Yeah.
It's a
Yep. Which is my most important source of info. So I mean,
yeah, that's the core of all of this is it comes from the Bible.
yeah,
And yet these people that are I consider to be in the woke community, they're trying to change all of
they're
that. They
not really
don't like it.
woke. They're not really woke.
What do you mean?
If they are, they would realize just
That
what
it's
God
natural.
ordained to happen. Yeah.
No, they're trying to change they're trying to change the way we think as as Americans, as a
As a species.
society. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
We
it's
live in a
basically that's
society.
in a society
We
where
live in that meme. Oh my gosh.
I don't know where I was going with that. But anyways, so back on to the subject of kids choosing their gender.
Yes.
I have a example of a woman. I believe it's a woman. I don't know.
What? Who
But
can tell?
who can tell now? Anyways, let's
Yes,
transition.
well,
No pun
who
intended.
knows?
Actually, there was pun intended there. Let's
We
transition
plan
over.
that for the podcast.
I was waiting to say that one. Let's
That's so bad.
let's I know that was bad. Let's transition over to talking about regretting transitioning, shall we?
Yes.
So
So that was for our conservative listeners, our purely conservative listeners, right there.
yeah, that was a little funny. All right.
That's hilarious.
All right. So uh all right, so the name of this
Oh
article,
my gosh.
I can't believe I did that. Okay.
That's
Anyways,
amazing.
all right, so this article I found is from News Medical. I'm not very familiar with this website,
Familiar
to
with
be honest
them.
with you.
Yeah.
So anyways, let me read a little bit about this.
Yes,
Okay,
let's do it.
so
Except cookie settings. Oh gosh, super cookie settings.
I love cookies. Yes, please deliver some cookies to my house, but they never do it. And every time I press accept cookies, they never deliver anything. I've never gotten any cookies.
I never understood what that is. What are cookies really quick? Like online, what does that mean?
Well, I don't know. Let's not go into that now. But like cookies are something along the lines of like data that the website shares to know more about you, I guess.
Oh, cookies. Oh, I thought they were chocolate.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, why have I never gotten? They never asked for my address or anything. Like, hey, I got an address. You can send the cookies to me right now if you want.
Yeah.
You know, I'm willing to accept cookies at my doorstep. Okay.
Oh my god.
They've never asked me what type of cookies I want or, you know, like anything. So I've never gotten any cookies out of this.
Come on, man.
Anyways, back on subject.
Back on track. Oh gosh, it's gonna be a long podcast.
Makes me want cookies now. Okay, so what was that noise? That's disgusting.
It
All right.
is.
That's not how you eat cookies. All right.
No.
All right.
You
So
eat them like Patrick.
all right, Aiden, let's move on. A trans activist woman who detransitioned in 2018 has sparked controversy by claiming that many people who have gender reassignment regret that decision and want to return to their original sex. So Charlie Evans, age 28, from Newcastle, UK, says hundreds of people who want to return to their original gender have contacted her since she announced her detransition and stopped taking her hormone therapy, which basically hormone therapy makes you like your body do different things. Like say if you're a male and you take like certain hormones that females have, it's gonna make you basically grow breasts.
Yeah.
And it's like that's one of the
things. Become a male, it makes you. Could it make you grow a penis?
I don't think that's possible.
Oh look, what's coming out of my? What is this?
What is this?
What is this? I've never seen before.
It's a pattern. It's a pattern I've never seen before.
Lack of symmetry.
Lack of symmetry. That has nothing to do. No, please don't bring this up. Oh, guys, if you guys want to know what we're talking about, go to our gaming channel. It's at the end of our podcast. You can find the link to it. But go over to our gaming channel.
Go to the gaming channel and search up the Fire Emblem live stream that we did.
Yes, because towards the end it gets really funny. So please do check that out.
Jared falls down laughing and he basically almost dies. Oh no, Klain. Oh no.
All right, so let's get back to this.
Excuse.
So this person took hormone therapy but stopped taking it after the detransition, which is basically going back to what you were before. And Evans was born female, okay, but decided to live as a male for almost 10 years before detransitioning. She says she has received a huge response since announcing that she would no longer be identifying as a male or taking her testosterone therapy. So hundreds of people, just 30 in the Newcastle area alone, have contacted her for her getting tongue twisted there. Have
What?
contacted her seeking help, she
Contact
says,
the
either asking her to speak out or to help them find support over their decision to detransition. So this is a quote from Charlie. I'm in communication with 19 and 20-year-olds who have had full gender reassignment surgery who wish they hadn't, and their dysphoria hasn't been
talking about
relieved,
that
and they
later.
don't feel better for it. They don't know what their options are now. So yeah, basically what Aiden said, we're going to be talking about gender dysmorphia, right?
Yeah,
Or
we're gonna talk about that
dysphoria,
later.
gender dysphoria.
Yeah, that's gonna be more of a scientific topic that we'll talk about later in this podcast.
Yeah, so it goes on by saying there's a lack of information about how many people regret transitioning. The number of young people seeking gender transition is at a highest that it has ever been, but little is reported about how many of them regret the decision later, finding they are unhappy with their new gender. I feel like the reason why we're missing a lot of this information is because it's looked down upon.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
because there is a agenda that people are trying to push upon others, is that if you feel like changing, go ahead and change, transition
Yeah.
over to whatever sex you want to,
Yeah.
that, but they don't want to give you any real information. Like, well, Aiden and I, we're trying to give you real information. Obviously we're
The best
biased
of
in
our
our,
ability.
yeah, I mean, we're biased in our opinions. We'll admit
Obviously,
that.
we're conservatives. I mean,
Yeah.
so
We're pretty biased when it comes to that, but we try to, give you facts and let you decide on your own.
yes.
But I feel like not many people are covering, the regretting transitioning because it's an agenda thing.
Which is why we're
I
covering
mean,
it. So
yeah, I feel like that's probably the case, but I don't know.
yeah.
Anyways, so Evans, who made her story public last year, says she is shocked by the number of people who have contacted her, saying they have found themselves in a similar position to her. The people who contact her share similar characteristics. They tend to be around their mid-20s. They're mostly female and mostly same-sex attracted and often autistic as well.
That's interesting to me then.
Yeah.
How does that correlate?
What with gender
Autism.
dysphoria?
Yeah. Because I never had that.
I don't know. Maybe there is some sort of connection between the two mental disabilities.
Yeah. So, because I have autism, so I'm gonna research that after this and try to find that out.
Wow. Okay. Look at this. There's a woman that had identified as male since the age of 13.
Okay.
This is the person that reached out, which is a 21-year-old at the time, but they were identifying as male since the age of 13. Isn't that kind of early? Is around the range where I'm saying, I mean, they're getting into puberty at the age of 13, but that's still really early.
COVID-19 news.
No.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. No, we're not in this podcast, but maybe in another one we'll talk about it.
Yes. Upcoming one, maybe.
Yeah, so that's my point exactly. It's way too young to be transitioning. So
yes.
Shame on you as a parent that decides that your kid can transition over to whatever sex they want, especially at the age.
Why do you have to try to control their lives?
I'm going to make the rule under the age. If you are 16 or younger, you cannot do that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's way too young. I mean, even 16 is like, okay, but I mean, maybe, but still, that's a little early because there's a lot of time. Like, you're still considered a minor in the U.S. and that's it. I don't know. It seems a little early to me, but I still say shame on you for letting your kid change their gender at such a young age. 13 is way too young for that.
This little hormones, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but either some parent
Go with the
was,
hormonal changes is what I mean.
yeah, I mean, some
You're gonna
parent
confuse
was,
them even more than they already are.
yeah, someone was being really stupid with letting their kid do that.
That makes me mad.
That's I think the parents should be held accountable, maybe. You know,
Mm-hmm.
letting their
Yeah.
kid. I mean, that's their choice. I mean, there's a lot of bad parenting out there, but maybe that's just another example of
That goes
bad
too
parenting.
far.
Yeah.
That's too far.
So there was also, so this is another point I wanted to make. Gender transition is offered to children as young as 3 or 4.
That's about really gets me mad.
This
Really
is
cooks my
yeah, this really
lets the
gets my
steam out of
blood
my ears.
boiling.
Yeah.
Um,
They're
so
4 years old.
they don't even know genders. They don't even know like what is boy or girl at that age.
This is pissing. Sorry, this is pissing me off so much.
Dude, think about this. People that are under the age of 5 don't remember anything when they're like 10 years old.
Then how the heck are you supposed to know your Oh my gosh.
If you can't remember like what you did when you were 3, then why are you then changing what gender you are at that age?
This is
How is
so.
that reasonable?
It's not. This is so disturbing.
It really is. And it says so NHS facilities in the UK have started to offer guidance on gender transition to children as young as 3 or 4 years old, and participation in gender transition programs has skyrocketed.
Oh
Once
gosh.
so one center called Tavistock and
Yep.
Portman NHS Trust says that compared with 10 years ago, participation has skyrocketed by
3,200.
wow, that's a big jump. 3,200%, with the rate of girls up by 5,300%, something like that. With its
53,
records
37. Yeah.
with its records showing that referrals are more common than ever, the center suggests that cases of detransition will also rise, which is obvious because if you try to transition someone who's only 3 or 4 years old, there's going to be regrets. I
Yeah.
guarantee you.
Yeah. They are
There,
young.
I mean, I don't know what
They're
stupid
thinking.
that these parents are stupid. They should never have kids in the
They're
first
not
place.
stupid. They're not stupid. They're actually very smart.
Huh?
They know what they're doing.
No, what? Why would you want to
They
put Aiden?
there's an
Why?
agenda. Goes back to
What?
the whole agenda thing.
Well, why would you want to put your kid through that? You're just putting your child up for suffering, is what you're doing, because you
Maybe
don't.
some parents don't care.
Your kid, say this kid, gets transitioned at the age of 3, and
That's insane.
which is, I didn't even think it was that young, but this boggles my mind now that we're
This
talking
is
about
making
it.
me mad. Makes my blood
It's,
boil.
if you can't already tell, but
Yeah. We're already getting fired up.
yeah. So like, say at the age of 10, they're like, I like boys, but I am a boy. But
What is going on?
originally their sex was a girl. You know what I mean?
That's gonna be confusing.
Isn't that the confusing part? Because they were born a girl but transitioned over to a boy at the age of 3. Then when they turn about 13 or so, when they start going into puberty, they start getting attracted to other kids,
Yeah.
and they find out like, I'm attracted to boys, but I am a boy. That seems kind of wrong, right?
Yeah.
It may be in their head,
Does that
I
make me
mean,
gay? Yeah.
yeah, does that make me gay? Well, it's like, but then their parent, they maybe say, for example, their parent didn't tell them they were transitioned, and then they
Right.
find out that they're actually,
A
a
girl.
girl, but they have the body parts of a boy. There's so much issues with
This
that
is
because,
just so messed up.
yeah, because
That's
dude,
why I'm saying the parents are so stupid.
because they're going to put their child in a spiraling depression. I mean, I'm sorry, but they're going to go into
That
a
may end.
depression state.
That may end in suicide.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah, suicide rates, I'm sure, are going on the rise too,
Yeah,
along
because
with
of this.
that detransition that they're discussing in this article. But I don't know if they even say anything about suicide, but
They probably don't. No, because that's the end of the article. But
yeah, so they don't say anything about suicide, but that's definitely a big concern, I would think.
yeah,
This
the
is
parents are
just,
trying to control them to the fullest extent.
it's, I don't know. It's really sad. It hurts me to think that,
It hurts my heart.
that parents would put their kids through that. Like, don't you realize that your kids do not know any better? Like, you have to teach them. You can't just let them choose everything that they think is right, because like a kid will want to touch an electric outlet in the wall if you let them. You
Yeah,
gotta tell
a
your
kid
kid.
like me would eat a penny.
Yeah, you got to tell your kid, don't touch that, it's going to hurt you. Just like that, you got to tell them, you can't just
Timmy, don't touch the stove.
yeah, don't touch the stove, it's hot,
Yeah,
something like that.
that's a classic example. But yeah,
Yeah, but like, you just can't let your kid choose what gender. They can't make the right decision at that young of an age. It's just way too young.
yeah.
So this is a little bit different than, well, what we're going to discuss next is a little bit different than letting the kids choose their gender, but it's along the same lines. But what the parents are doing in this case,
This is
now
a
they're,
video, right?
yeah, this is a video example I have of where these parents are raising their children as not a specific gender. So they don't want to give
And
them
the fluid,
any,
right?
yeah, gender
Something like
fluid
that.
is how they describe it, but they don't want to give any like gender stereotypes, I guess, is
Right.
what they're doing. So I have a example of that if you guys want to check it out. So I'm going to show you
Yes.
guys in this podcast what's
In
going
this
on.
video on NBC News, right?
Yeah, which, by the way, I hate using this news source, but this is just a way to show how angry I am.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Before you watch the video, scroll down to the other report. There's something about Biden. It's
Oh,
hilarious.
dang, it may not show up now.
If we can find it.
Okay, so anyways, it's probably not here now because now I'm talking about it, so they don't want me to show it. But there was a video. Maybe they took it down, but it was funny. Aiden and I. This is a little off topic, but there was a video that was showing up in the recommended right after this video. It was like going to play next or something.
Yeah.
And it showed Joe Biden. The article said something along the lines of Joe Biden goes out in public and wears blackface mask in first appearance in how many weeks. It's like, blackface mask. So I click on it and it's just a regular black mask just covering his nose and mouth.
But they make it
And
a
his-
race thing.
Yeah, they make it a race thing, like it's a blackface reference. No, it's not, you dumb butt. I wear a black mask at work all the time.
Yep.
And
All of us
you,
at McDonald's do.
so do people that come through my line think I'm wearing blackface? No, I'm not. I'm
Being
wearing a
racist,
black
yeah.
mask. I'm not being racist.
So
I didn't even
that's one
think
of the
of,
few things I
dude.
side
That
with
never
Biden
even,
with.
dude. That never even crossed my mind
Yeah.
until
Apparently it crossed NBC's mind.
apparently, because NBC's like, where can we make this a race issue? Okay,
They always try to, yeah.
they nitpick. They're trying to
I do
pull.
not agree with Biden on anything, but with this, I feel bad for him.
Yeah, me too. I really do, because
Yeah.
like Aiden, I really don't like anything that Biden says or does, but
He forgets everything.
yeah, he doesn't even know what he's saying half the time. But
But
I think he knows that he's not doing blackface mask. I mean, I think he knows
what?
that much, right? Anyways.
Oh my gosh, it's just so stupid. NBC. Which makes me even more mad to have to use this site for this video, but oh well.
All right. Well, anyways, we're not like supporting anything that this
Video says.
video says, really. But here's a video for you guys to check out.
Yeah.
Let
Let's
me make
watch
sure
this.
the volume's up for you guys.
Normal family. We have 2 kids. Order Domino's for dinner sometimes.
All right, I'm ready to go.
In many ways, we fit the kind of normal stereotype. Our kids, Caden and Zyler, are 3.5 years old, and we're raising them using they, them, their gender-neutral pronouns so that they can decide for themselves when, if, and how they want to
Watch this guy
identify
run.
as a gender.
Or this lady. Wait. He's running like this.
Oh my gosh. Cambridge, Massachusetts, huh? Aw,
Just, yeah, they're really cute. But look,
look how innocent.
the way these,
It really makes my blood boil because look at how innocent.
the way that these people are dressed kind of tells you something.
So I think that knowing the sex or the gender of your child is important to other people, partially just because it's part of the social script. They don't notice that
Lord,
they're
you
any
can
different
tell.
from
Look
any
at the
other children
rainbow
because they have
colored
no idea
pants.
that some children
Rainbow
are
flag,
she
yeah,
and some
yeah.
children are he. To them, they're all children. So like they don't.
Oh, I
notice the
love
difference
those in
the other
school.
kids that they're with.
Yeah, those are fun. Dude, in gym, always.
Oh, yeah.
That's weird. They don't
A lot of
disclose
young
the.
girls are,
Yeah, it is.
when they grow up, they're told, don't get dirty, don't do that, that's not safe, be careful, those kinds of things. And then they grow up to think that they're not capable of doing all these things. And then the young boys are told, oh, don't cry, you're okay, be strong. And then they aren't comfortable having emotions, which can cause a lot of problems when they're older.
What does that have to do with
Gender is
gender?
not something that we have discussed with either of them at all, really.
Exactly.
We're as nervous about that as most parents are about like how our baby's made.
They haven't really asked about it, so we're waiting
What does that have to
until
do with
that
gender?
question comes up. I think we're just kind of gonna wing it a little bit when we get there. But telling them that gender is something that's fluid, and a lot of people have penises
Wrong.
identify as being boys, but that's not something that is necessary if you feel like you're a girl, and vice versa.
There is research that shows when you use gender binaries in our language, when we say good morning, boys and girls, or when we just say to our kids, come on, girls, or what a smart boy you are, using gender to sort and categorize and label kids. We do know that increases gender stereotypes.
Do you want the hair clip in your hair?
Oh my gosh,
Help, or
really?
you do it yourself?
What is this kid doing?
Yeah, what the heck?
You did it.
Now we're
Okay, wow.
As a result of raising our kids as babies, I'm hoping that they'll grow up and be supportive of other people and who they are and how they feel, and really confident and happy in who they are themselves.
That sounds dandy, but I mean, wow.
No. Okay.
A lot to dissect in this.
All right, so let's discuss. What
First of all, what
are
the heck?
your thoughts on it?
First of all, what the heck does being born and anything like that have to do with gender? First of all, but
Well-
besides that, just like why? Seeing how innocent they were, the kids, I mean, just really makes my blood boil when they're trying to,
Yeah.
force this upon them. It's just like, and what the heck was up with the freaking using hello boys and girls increases gender stereotypes?
Well, I mean,
I didn't realize how deep it
Hmm.
actually went. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it covers a lot of what we were just discussing before.
Yeah.
Like before watching this video, it kind of covers a lot of that. But when they were saying about gender fluid, gender, yeah, it may be fluid if you're, if you have, that issue in your brain where that's mentally, like there's a
Unstable.
chemical imbalance, like what, we're saying that it's a possible, or is it possible that it's a mental issue, or it is?
It is. It is fully.
It's confirmed to be, like by scientists, or just
Okay, I kind of hate that question, dude, because
but then again
what
we can't trust everything.
what scientists?
Yeah, I mean, we can't trust, everyone, that we talk to that is a
Just like the
scientist or
climate change issue. I mean, yeah.
yeah, I mean, you can't when you say, trust scientists, okay, well, if I trust scientists, then I
What
believe in
side?
climate change,
Yeah. Right.
or
Yeah.
global warming, as they'd say.
Did you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely see what you say, and thanks for catching me there. But
Yeah.
no, I
But no,
definitely
in my eyes, in the conservatives' eyes, it is a mental illness fully.
yeah, and yeah, we're gonna have, like we said earlier, an article under gender dysphoria.
No, or gender identity disorders. It's also called.
Yeah, so
Yep.
we'll discuss that too later. But yeah, it's definitely a strange video because
Back to the video. Yeah.
like I said before, they're trying to change what has been here since ancient times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've always had that feeling that
Boy and a girl.
boy or girl, it's simple as that. You're either male or female.
You either have a
Um,
penis or you don't.
yeah.
I mean,
So
but seriously, like, sorry to be vulgar, but like that.
that's basically what we're saying here. I mean, we're not trying to get all technical, like, okay, well, yeah, obviously you're going to occasionally, get those people that are male attracted to male and female attracted to female, but in our eyes, it's seen as a mental illness
Yeah.
just as much as ADHD is,
Schizophrenia.
or it's the same thing of like how society is blind to certain mental illnesses.
They're not blind. They're saying it's okay when it's not.
Yeah, and Aiden, it's happened before.
Accepting mental illness gives them an excuse.
Yeah, they just accept it. Just accept it. Okay, well,
If you
it
accept
might be an
pyromaniacs,
actual.
they're gonna burn. If you accept pyromania, they're gonna freaking burn everything down.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
this gender identity disorder has been around probably the same amount of time that we've been around, right?
it was mentioned in the Bible even.
So it's
I don't know
it's
exactly what
definitely
verses, but it's been mentioned.
yeah, it's definitely a real thing, and so like especially if the Bible's mentioning it too, it's like
Oh yeah,
it's obviously there's something
man should not
there.
sleep with another man, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, so so it's definitely there, and the Bible addresses it, but
Oh yeah,
you know, but people tend to ignore it and say, oh, it's just accept them. Okay.
yeah.
Well, I accept people that choose that route. I mean, just as much as I accept people that have issues with ADHD and who
This guy
have,
right here.
and yeah, and people who have autism and
Yep.
people who, like, we're told to accept all these people with mental illnesses. So it's just another mental illness that we are supposed to accept, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, that's one way to look at it,
But that's the thing though, is that they don't think it's a mental illness.
Yeah, they think it's just like, oh, God gave
Natural.
you that choice or something. No, God did not give you that choice. God made
Genesis
that choice for you.
Genesis 1:2.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
God
Go read
made
it, guys.
Yeah, I mean, like, God made that choice for you. He made you the way you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know,
If you don't
sure.
like it, tough crap. I mean,
do you think like just God made, the people have this mental illness so they would have to choose like what's right? Or
I don't know.
that's an interesting aspect to it, because if God made you the way you're supposed to be, that's some interesting things.
But maybe when you overcome that illness, you'll be able to see the glory in overcoming it.
You like become closer to God.
Right, obviously,
Essentially.
yep. Because
Yeah.
that's the ultimate goal in human life,
Yeah.
is to show Christ and to become closer to God.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, that was a very interesting video on NBC.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend going to them for many things unless you're criticizing their work. Then I recommend
we
going
are,
there.
yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So we are not referencing them for any helpful.
We do not condone them.
Yes.
Hmm.
So, and Aiden has something he wants to talk about with the LGBTQ and feminism, right?
Yeah,
right?
this is Oh man, this
Okay.
is gonna be let's bring this up. This is crazy.
Oh, we're getting pop-ups.
No!
Oh, sorry.
Yes, we want the truth, but
that
not
was my
right
own
now.
fault.
So this is
From-
funny because
Yeah. From
you're
Daily Wire.
right, which I love them.
Mhm.
First of all, to preface this, you need to know, guys, that LGBTQ plus community and the feminists are supposed to be hand in hand, right?
Mhm.
Well, listen to this article, guys. So this says that LGBT group targets radical feminist groups event. Seattle Public Library might cave to them. And I found this. Hey, there's my man right there.
Right. Don't need them
So the
talking.
rest of this article says the Women's Liberation Front, a group that views itself as a radical feminist organization, wants to hold an event at the Seattle Public Library, but the library is considering the complaints of another group that calls Wolf a hate group. And that group is the Gender Justice League, where KTTH Seattle host Jason Wance terms a far left LGBT group, is upset because is upset because Wolf's titled "Fighting for the New Misogyny," a feminist critique of gender identity, intends to offer a critical analysis of gender identity. Oh my gosh, here we go. Wance notes that Wolf dislikes instances where biological women are disadvantaged by trans women. Thus, the Gender Justice League granted, and I quote here, the end result of a hate group using the library as a venue to critique the existence of a minority group creates a hostile environment and is unacceptable, end quote. The Gender Justice League wrote, we recently found out that an anti-trans organization has booked an event at the Seattle Public Library with the express purpose of arguing to take away legal rights for trans people. The library has put out an immediate response and are continuing, to look at their options for the situation. We will be talking with them and recognize that there are a number of complicated factors that they have to balance. But the end result of a hate group using the library as a venue to critique the existence of a minority group creates a hostile environment and is unacceptable. So that was the full quote.
Mhm.
Gender Justice League added a threat. The library, the city council, the mayor, and the city government as a whole needs to understand consequences if they sit back and allow discriminatory harassment to take place in their own spaces unchallenged. Rance adds, and I quote, Toby Hillmeyer, co-executive director of the GJL, calls Wolf a hate group because according to the Seattle Times, their stated purpose is to critique the existence of trans people, and in this current climate, that's a serious threat. SPL's chief librarian, Marcellus Turner, seemingly taking the Gender Justice League's complaints to heart, stated what? We have been working to get up to speed on the implications of this event as they relate to our legal responsibilities, our role as a public institution, and our role as a safe, socially conscious space. We have heard from patrons who believe we should not let this event happen in a library space due to the group's views. We have heard from others who say that not allowing this event to happen will endanger the library's founding principle of intellectual freedom. As a library valuing intellectual freedom, inclusivity, and community respect, our leadership is considering every option to ensure we respond to concerns about this event thoughtfully and in line with our views. Controversial groups like these contest our limits as democratic centers of free speech and intellectual freedom, as well as our limits as a united community and organization. I hope you can recognize the difficult situation this has created for us. Wolf described their event like this. Over the last several years, transgender activism has made sweeping gains, from local school boards to the Democratic Party, to legislatures around the world. Proponents of this ideology have succeeded in positioning gender identity as a social justice issue of our day. but all the claims made by these activists actually true or even coherent? What does it mean to say that people can be born into the wrong body? Does the concept of gender identity break down stereotypes about the nature of men and women, or does it reinforce them? And what about the rights of women and girls?
All right, so
Hmm.
that's
End that article. Yeah.
yeah, that's the end of that article. So what is
Joe,
this?
what is it saying?
Well, I was just about to ask you the same thing since you
Yeah.
this was your topic.
Yeah. I think it's honestly just two groups going at each other, man.
Yeah.
And because the way I think about this is that feminism and the LGBTQ plus community are supposed to be together, right?
Yeah.
And yet they're warned with each other. So what does that show you?
Well, that shows that there's a lot of like battles within, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, it shows that even though like there might be clear boundaries between feminism and and say like conservatives or something,
Yeah.
something like that. Like there's a clear two sides to the argument, but even though you think like the LGBTQ and feminism should be in the same group, even though they're in the same group, they're still fighting,
Yeah.
and they should all be working together. But that shows that they're not all together. There's divisions within their own group.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous because that's going to cause their whole
Movement
agenda to fall
be
apart.
stumbled.
Yeah. I mean, that's the same
Yeah.
thing when you talk about political parties. When you got the Democrat or the Republican Party that is like split in, like say they'll be like, okay, well I like Bernie Sanders. Okay, well I like Joe Biden. Okay, well I like Elizabeth Warren or something like
Yeah.
that. They're divided in who they like and who they want. That's
Yeah.
division, and that's a recipe for disaster.
Yes, it is.
And that's basically what the Democrats have gotten into. I know that's a little off topic, but they just
It makes sense.
Exhibit A, they have fallen apart to the point where you don't know what they're doing now.
Yep.
They got the Trump
Oh.
deliria or whatever they call it.
Yeah, the Trump syndrome.
Trump syndrome, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got that issue going on with them. That's a side effect of splitting, dealing with Trump, I guess. So
Yes.
so anyways, the next thing we want to talk about is about how there's no gay gene, right?
Yeah. Yep. Jared, do you want to talk about this one?
Sure, I can.
Yeah. And this is a scientific guide, so.
All right, so from sciencenews.org,
Yeah.
there's no evidence that a single gay gene exists. Wow, how mesmerizing. That is interesting
Right.
stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I was being
Sarcastic.
I was being sarcastic about
But this
it.
is big, though, for people that believe the gay gene myth.
Yeah. So publication
That's
of the
cool.
largest ever study of the roles of genes in homosexual behavior is fanning the debate over whether being gay is due to genes or environment. First reported at a genetics conference in 2018, the study found 5 genetic variants associated with having a same-sex sexual partner, but those variants, called SNPs, don't predict people's sexual behavior. Researchers report in the August 30th Science, there is a quote, "There's no gay gene that determines whether someone has same-sex partners," says Andrea Ganna, a geneticist at the Broad Institute of MIT and Harvard and the University of Helsinki.
Helsinki. That's what Satan's college is.
Helsinki.
That's what Satan's college is.
Yeah, that's Satan's university there.
Oh, man.
Sorry for anyone that goes there. Family studies have suggested that genetics account for about 32% of heteroability of homosexual behavior, but each SNP or single nucleotide polymorphism has a very small effect on whether someone has ever had a same-sex sexual partner, the new research found. So, so taking into account all the SNPs measured in the study, including those that weren't statistically significantly associated with same-sex behavior, explained only 8 to 25% of heteroability of same-sex behavior. When considering just those 5 statistically significant SNPs, that number drops to much less than 1%.
Wow.
So this is a very
Long.
very loaded article when it comes to the words and statistics. So what is this essentially saying? It's basically what the title says is that there's no gay gene.
Right. And there was a huge study that proved it. I mean,
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not real I'm not real familiar with what they're talking about. Like I don't know the
basically, I
specifics
think
of
they're
it.
meaning that they were looking at different groups and stuff, and there was literally no chromosomes that, at least to their knowledge, that contains a gay gene in there, no matter what.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
like the
Out of all 46.
yeah. You know, like I said, and we said this whole podcast.
And does that
is
mean that they'll, now here's my question.
Uh-huh.
Could there be a gay gene through mutation?
I
You know
don't
what I mean?
think I don't think so.
Right, me neither. Yeah, I know.
A reason why is like we said, we think it's a mental illness.
Yeah, yep.
So, you know, that would explain, that's not really a thing with your DNA
Right.
necessarily.
Right.
The like mental illness can be a
And we're talking about
factor.
DNA a lot.
Huh?
We're talking about DNA a lot tonight.
Yeah. Wasn't expecting to go into that necessarily, but
What is that? Which is true. I mean,
now this is like this has been mentioned throughout this whole podcast, but what we're going to talk about next is gender identity disorder or gender dysphoria, which
As it's
Aiden,
also known.
you probably want to talk about this one, right?
Yes, because I actually have a mental illness called autism, basically.
Yeah.
So I can kind of relate to not this, but mental illness in general. So I kind of want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Can you zoom in though? Because I can barely see
yeah.
with like glasses. Oh gosh.
Is that a little
There
bit
we
better?
go. Yeah, it's perfect. So introduction, and this is from NIH.gov, so National Institute of Health, I think. So here it is. The origin of the word gender came from the Old French gendre, now termed genre. Interesting. That meant kind, sort, genus. Generally, children are assigned to their gender at birth based on their anatomy and chromosomes. For most children, this gender assignment corresponds to their gender identity, an innate sense of identifying oneself as male or female. Some children might experience an incongruency and grow into transgender adults. Gender dysphoria, or GD, according to the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, or DSM-5, is defined as a marked incongruence between their experienced or expressed gender and the one they were assigned at birth. It was previously termed gender identity disorder, as you had mentioned. Children or adolescents who experience this turmoil cannot correlate to their gender expression when identifying themselves within traditional societal binary male or female roles, which may cause cultural stigmatization. This can further lead to relationship conflicts with family, peers, friends, and various aspects of their daily lives and lead to rejection from society. Interpersonal conflicts, symptoms of depression and anxiety, substance use disorders, a negative sense of well-being, and poor self-esteem, and increased risk of self-harm and suicidality.
Yeah, and hold on for a second. Let me interject.
Yeah.
This is kind of like what we were talking about a little bit before when we were saying that, this is basically what parents would be doing to their child, is possibly putting them through exactly what Aiden read in that last paragraph.
Yeah.
Is having those conflicts, having depression and anxiety, and apparently substance abuse, and so poor self-esteem. That's all a thing.
The worst one would be suicidality.
Yeah, like suicide rates going up possibly with that. I could see that happening, especially when those parents are like, yeah, it's a good idea. They're 3 or 4 years old. They can change their gender if they want, But yeah, these symptoms in this paragraph here are all things that can possibly happen if parents do that.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll link to the article. More awareness needs to be created to perceive gender expression as a continuum from male to female rather than fixed binary norms. This might help society to understand the population and reduce the burden of mental health problems caused by the associated stigma. The term gender should not be confused with sexual orientation. A transgender man, biological female, may identify himself as heterosexual and can still be sexually attracted to women and vice versa.
So it's basically saying that, if you're biologically a man, your gender is male, whether you are, no matter what
Like it
your
or not.
sexual orientation is.
Yeah.
No matter
Yep.
if you feel like you are attracted to other males, you'd still
Yeah.
be considered your gender as a male.
Yeah. So, Jared, so just scroll through this article. We don't have to read it, but just scroll through it so that we can see all this. Yeah, I can pause it if you want to read all that.
And it goes into epidemiology.
Which is, wow, it's considered that. Yeah. Pathophysiology, biological factors.
So is this some solid evidence that
That's
it's
oh,
definitely
yeah.
a mental illness?
Dude, it came from the DSM-5. Diagnostics of mental health. Yeah. Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, zooming on that second paragraph really quick. As a gender dysphoria, according to Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders,
Mm-hmm.
which is like the official book on mental health, used by scientists all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if it says it's a disorder, it's a disorder,
Right.
whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So, Jared, what are your views on this?
I definitely agree with it being a mental illness, and as you already know, but that is it's very interesting that they're talking about it in that light, because I feel like if schools would teach that to their students, it would help them understand exactly, give them a better view on what it is that they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Because even though it's a mental illness, schools and people in general are treating it as not a mental illness, and it's a normal thing. Like everyone, yeah, you're born a male or female, but whatever, screw that. You just choose whatever you want to be, and in some cases that's true. Yeah, you want to find, what type of career path you want to go down. Like, you can't have your dad tell you, son, you need to be a firefighter when you grow up.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
you need to choose your own career. But when it comes down to your sexual
Gender.
orientation and stuff, and your gender is a solid thing. It's not fluid. Okay?
Yeah. I'm sorry, but
gender is not a fluid thing. But your sexual orientation may be.
Right.
But I think you have those two things mixed up. I think that article pointed out that simple fact that people get gender and their sexual orientation mixed up. They're two separate things.
Yes.
So
the data doesn't lie.
Yeah, if you can take anything from that article, take that.
People tend to get sexual orientation and gender mixed up. Hence, and when you put the parents into it, like you said, Joe, it confuses them even more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you're making your child, either a male or female at the age of 3 or 4, and and then they're confused later down the road, like, what am I? Who am I? And their whole life is a lie, basically. They, because if you're not telling your child, oh yeah, we change your gender when you're 3. Wait, what?
That's gonna mess them up.
Yeah, and then they'll be
Big
like,
time.
well, I want to be
PTSD level.
Yeah, I want to go back to what I was before. Why'd I change?
Yeah.
And there'll be it's just a bigger issue than what it needs to be.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's all for that article, really. But
yes,
it's definitely very interesting, and it's true, but people tend to
I love science. That was for all the science leftists out there that say they're based purely on data. There's the data right there.
Yeah, for all those people that are like, the data's there. You can't make up this stuff. It's right. It's
there. It is.
Stone.
You saw it right there.
All right,
and it proves it in our point.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're going based off of scientific data only, then
there it is, right there.
There it is. There's your proof.
Yeah.
You're looking for.
Yeah,
Mic drop.
exactly. Yep, just let's have this podcast right now.
Yeah. No, actually,
No,
no,
seriously.
wait, there's more.
Yep.
Okay, so next one is kind of a fun video. Aiden and I were getting a kick out of it.
Oh man, it gets heated in this.
This is Ben Shapiro. He's talking about sexual orientation, and he's basically talking about this gender identity disorder that we just discussed.
Which
And
why it shows this.
you can
And here, let me preface this by saying they're talking about a girl. Well, a man, I will say, named Caitlyn Jenner, who identifies as a woman, right?
Yes.
And she wins an award on this show. And this video is about these people discussing whether she should have gotten the award or not.
Mm-hmm.
And this is
So-
what happens. Watch
all
this,
right.
guys.
Here you go.
Oh man.
Let's
Oh
get
man.
this. Oh, HLN. This is perfect. Okay.
Right. Oh man. Here we go.
You have to bifurcate it. Did she deserve the honor? Probably not. Is she brave? Of course she's brave. All those years invested as this sports legend.
Right,
To come out transgender is horribly difficult. It is the most difficult thing you can do. I've been overseas. I've flown helicopter missions, surveillance missions. I've been shot, stabbed. Being brave is being yourself. And being transgender is about the bravest thing you can
Trying
do.
to bring the tears, right?
Did she deserve the award? Yes.
Why are we mainstreaming delusion?
It's not delusion.
Why would you call it delusion?
Because Bruce.
That is one
Caitlyn
ugly-looking
Jenner, I'll call
woman.
Him, Caitlyn
Yeah.
Jenner.
No, it's
That's-
her. You're not being polite to the pronouns.
Because
Disrespectful.
Okay, forget about the disrespect. Facts don't care about your feelings. It turns out that every chromosome, every cell in Caitlyn Jenner's body is male, with the exception of some of his sperm cells. It turns out that
You've
his brain
adopted
structure is
that.
male.
Wait, I need
It
to.
turns out that
God,
he has all of his male appendages.
That
What he
lady
feels
looks
on the
so
inside
offended.
is irrelevant to the question of its biological
Gosh,
side.
I'm a bitch.
I don't agree with that. I'm not on that train. I'm not on that train. She wants to be called she. I'm going to call her she. I just have a problem with the message and the messenger.
So let's I'm going to do two things. I want to reiterate what Zoe said, which is the bifurcation of the courage to come forward after a lifetime as a male and a certain kind of a male versus did she deserve this award? Listen, the awards, what are award ceremonies except an opportunity to catch some eyes?
Especially the
So, yeah. It's like ESPN, well done, ABC. They did exactly what their job was, attract eyes. They did it. That's what award ceremonies are for. But in terms of the science behind gender dysphoria, you're very familiar with that. So
Very familiar.
It's not about the chromosomes within
We
our
both know
nuclei. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
bet you
chromosomes don't
differ.
necessarily mean you're male or female.
Gender
With gender
identity.
of course.
Go ahead. So
Especially, but even so, you have a thing like Klinefelter's syndrome. So you don't know what you're talking about. You're not educated on genetics.
Oh no, he's educated,
Well,
sir. You don't know anything about it.
let's stay away from the genetics and back to the brain scans.
You cut that out now.
But the genetics
or
are-
you'll go home in an ambulance.
Yeah, that seems
Oh.
mildly inappropriate for a political discussion.
No, I know. Well, no, wait, to be fair, but
You-
but
To put it nicely, yeah.
You are,
But to be fair, you're
being-
actually being
Hey,
kind
guys.
of rude.
you're
and and that's not fair.
I'm sorry, it's not rude to say that someone who's
called
biologically a
me a
male
sir.
is a male.
You
Mike
just
Someone who's
drops.
biologically male is a
Oh.
male.
But Mr. Shapiro, you knew very well by saying that to Zoe would be egregiously false.
It's not a male.
All right, guys, let's discuss that. That is
That is
great.
insane. Oh,
So
my-
what do you
Mic
guys think
drop.
about that? If you guys want to comment about the Ben
That's where
Shapiro
the
video,
most,
yeah,
these
if
are
you
where
guys,
the most hate comments are gonna come from.
yeah, if you guys haven't seen that, I'm sure most of our listeners are conservative, I would assume. But
But they get a kick out of that. So
yeah, so like if you haven't watched Ben Shapiro, definitely check him out.
Mic drop.
He's a recommended source for anything. I mean, he's not like, so he has his political views, yes, but he is certainly trying to give you the facts first, and
Yeah.
then he makes the judgment based on the facts. So it's not
Yep.
it's not just, it just so happens that he's conservative from his, from the
Yes.
facts he's gathering, you know what I mean?
Gosh, I
that,
love that, man.
I just, yeah, it's just like that
No
video.
homo.
You just know Aiden, from watching that video, he was never invited to another HLN meeting again. You just know it. Like, he's just like, they're like, why did we invite this guy again?
Dude, I just love how he was able to single-handedly take all of them on at once.
Yeah, and they were all like
Freaking
in a
mic drop.
frenzy, like, you said something controversial, and it's just like they're drowning in his words, like they just don't know what to do.
And then afterwards, he went like,
Yeah, I mean, it
Mic
was just
drop.
this mic drop, and then like the one guy's like, "That's offensive. You're hurting him,"
not being,
and it's just like,
and then the woman was like, "You're not being polite to the pronouns."
and he's like, "Well, the facts aren't trying to hurt you; they're just stating what is real," and like is
Yeah.
basically what he said, and.
It's not rude to say a biological male is a male.
Yeah, it's like this is
The way
exactly.
I would have said it, I would have said it way worse. I would have been like, "Do you have a penis?"
Yeah, I mean, all
Then-
these people are woke, Aiden.
Yeah.
Oh, they literally picked. I can't believe they even invited Ben Shapiro to this because they know where his views are at. So it's like
They
it's like,
wanted to stir up controversy.
I cannot believe. I want to know who the producer is that put him on because I want to congratulate him and just be like, "You are awesome, man. This made for good television. I love it." Oh, it's like Aiden. This is like
the most fired up you've ever been in this podcast. In a podcast, this is hilarious.
it's like watching your team win the World Series, which I haven't, but if I did, this would be exactly what it is. It's just so exciting. It's just like I love it. I
Yeah.
love how he handled that situation. It's great.
That's amazing. Thank God I share that
Oh.
with you, huh?
Oh my gosh, that brightens my mood every time.
Mm-hmm.
I speaking of it, I want that leftist tears tumbler that Ben Shapiro has.
Yes, give me that cup right now.
Yeah, so I think what you have to do is subscribe to his
After that,
subscribe to his Daily
not
Wire.
to HLN.
Huh?
Not to HLN.
No, subscribe to his
Daily
business called Daily Wire, and he has a thing called Leftist Tears Tumblr, which he advertises for all the time. I've been very interested in it, and I want it really.
And
bad.
I also want to join the Crowd Mug Club.
Yes, those two are awesome.
Yeah.
Cheers to Ben Shapiro.
Did
and
you know
Crowder.
that Crowder said that the first time he saw that, I think he said something like he literally fell out of his chair laughing.
So he likes Ben Shapiro a lot, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, dude, they're
Crowder?
actually best friends.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have they ever been seen on like a video
tons
together?
Tons of times.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up now. I'm
Ben
interested.
Shapiro, Crowder's been on Shapiro's podcast and vice versa.
Oh man, I gotta look that up now. I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh yeah,
that's
dude,
interesting.
they're really good friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So that
They got me
guy,
so excited.
I got so fired up about that video, guys.
That's
but like,
awesome.
it's just, and you got to see it right here. So
Live, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so
not live by the time this is out, but
yeah. So that was my reaction to the video, but I honestly enjoyed that, and you could just tell from the way I was.
your face
reacting.
is beaming.
Yeah. So. This is it's so much joy. It's like Christmas morning opening presents. You
Yeah,
know, it's that
I love
joy.
watching the leftist tears. I love watching the leftist tears wall.
Yeah, it's just that's why I want that mug or that tumbler. I want it so bad.
Okay, so what's the next point?
All right,
so
now we're gonna get down to the religious. Can't talk. The
that's
religious.
the last point. Yeah.
Yeah, our last point, and then we have a surprise announcement. But first,
yes,
we have one more thing we want to talk about, and that
But first,
is
we have one more thing.
yes, and
That's
that
a
is
Steve Jobs quote.
Mm-hmm.
Actually.
And what the Bible says about homosexuality. So we're going to
Yes.
get into the actual religious part of this. We mentioned that.
And Jared,
throughout-
I actually want you to read this one. I know I chose it, but I want you to read it because I want it to be ingrained in your mind. I want you to get this.
Okay.
I need to read this because this is really important. Well, we could both read it if you want, but yeah.
So this
This
gives
is
us
really-
a list of 10 things everyone should know about a Christian view of homosexuality.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start.
Let's just start with the first point. Yeah. We
So
don't have to,
all humans are simultaneously sinful and love. That's
yes.
pretty obvious, I think. So all people, regardless of their story, are deeply and unconditionally loved by God, each created with profound dignity and worth, not one more than another. This is more than mere religious happy talk. It's truth, whether one is gay, straight, or otherwise. But all people are also stricken with a terminal illness, sin. Everyone. No exceptions, and to the same degree, our sin demands our repentance and needs forgiveness, and God's love and grace are where we find both. This is basic Christianity and the great equalizer of all people. So that's pretty obvious. I think most people know that. Jesus wasn't silent on homosexuality.
No,
So
let me tell you, no, he wasn't.
all right, so some claim Jesus never said anything about homosexuality and therefore is neutral on the topic. Not true. And also what is not true is him talking into a microphone, which is shown here. That never happened.
Right.
No, but Jesus was unequivocal in saying that to understand marriage and the sexual union, we must go back to the beginning and see how God created humanity and to what end.
Genesis
See
2.
Matthew 19 and Mark 10. Jesus holds up the creation story in Genesis not as a quaint Sunday school lesson, but as authoritative, reminding us that God created each of us, male and female, each for the other, and for the sexual union that God created and ordains is for husband and wife to come together in physical union, one flesh.
Yep.
So there's only one option. So both Jesus and all of our scripture approve of no other sexual union than that between a husband and wife. This is the uncontested historical teaching of Judaism and Christianity, and is not something that true Christianity is free to adjust with the times. Yes, whatever that is, concubines and multiple wives are found in the Bible, but doesn't make them biblical. In fact, they violate the Genesis narrative Christ points us to. Yeah,
I think concubines, I think, is like the same as prostitutes, I think.
Oh, okay. It's a term I'm unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I do remember hearing about the multiple wives at one point in the Bible.
That doesn't make it right.
Yeah, that doesn't make it right.
Tons of people had them, but
yeah, they're pointing out things that happened during that time. I mean, just because it was around when Jesus was walking the earth doesn't mean
way before that even, dude.
Yeah, way before that. It doesn't mean that they're like all of a sudden like righteous or something, like all these people are like perfect in every way. No, they had issues just as much as we do today,
if not worse.
Yeah, if not worse, and so it's not like they were all perfect back then. We were no no perfect human exists
except Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So next one is male and female complete God's image on earth. I don't think I'll read this whole thing, but it is not just mere traditionalism that makes sex-distant marriage the norm for Christians. It is a common grace God has given to all peoples at all times that is rooted in deeper theological reasons. The first chapter of the Jewish and Christian scriptures tells us that humanity is uniquely created to show forth the image of God in the world, to make visible the invisible. God does this not just in generic humanity, but through two very similar but distinct types of humans.
Androgynous, that was.
Androgynous?
Yeah.
They are human universals, not cultural constructs. Yeah, that makes sense. Sex is indeed about babies.
That's true.
It is a new and culturally peculiar idea that human sexuality is all about intimacy and pleasure, but not necessarily babies.
That is so true.
Babies and reproduction matter, and sure, while not every male/female sexual engagement is towards the end of procreation, intimacy and pleasure matter as well. It has been the overwhelming norm and desire in nearly all marital relationships throughout time. That some couples are infertile and either by age or incapability does not diminish or challenge this reality. Infertility is the vast exception for male/female couples. It is the fact of same-sex unions, a human cul-de-sac. Heterosexual union reaches into and creates the next generation. To establish a sexual relationship without any interest in or openness to babies is contrary to God's intention for such relationships. So is it saying like that when you get married, like you're essentially supposed to have babies, or you
Yep.
don't have to?
Yeah. You don't have to, but that's just what happens.
Yeah, that's
know?
generally what's expected. But if
Right.
for some reason they're infertile, they can't have babies for whatever reason,
Right.
that's
Right.
understandable. So children have a right to a mother and father. So every person ever born can track his origin to a mother and a father, obviously, unless you're from outer space. There are
Right.
no exceptions, including those artificially produced. This was the first command God gave to the first two humans, to come together and bring forth the coming generations of new divine image bearers. Nearly all cultures and all places in the world at all historical times hold as fundamental that every child should be loved and raised by a mother and father. The UN Convention on the Rights of the Child recognizes a mother and father as a basic right of every child. No, I agree with that.
Now this is cool. This is interesting. This one's
Okay.
really interesting.
So same-sex attraction is not a sin. To be human is to have a disordered sexuality. You do, I do, everyone does. We all have some manner of sexual drive that compels us to disobey God's design for sexuality. But while temptation is universal, it's different from sin. Scripture tells us that Jesus was tempted in all ways as we are, but did not sin. Sexual sin is giving in to that desire in either mind or body. Faithful Christian discipleship cannot avoid temptation, but it strives to resist and master it with God's help. Doing so is not sin, but obedience and dependence upon Christ. So many are indeed same-sex attracted, but live obediently within a Christian sexual ethnic. It can be difficult, as it is for heterosexuals who are required to live in celibacy. Christianity requires that we each subjugate our sexual and many other desires to our faith commitment, and countless same-sex attracted believers do so willingly and joyfully. I'll read the next one, Aiden.
Yeah, this one's really interesting. Sexual intimacy is not a right. Joe, can you zoom in a little bit? Sorry, it's my glasses. Okay, there we go. Every Christian has limitations placed on his sexuality. For married Christians, it is exclusive to one spouse. For single, engaged, and divorced Christians, it is abstinence, no exceptions. It is unfair for so many to be forced into a life that cannot know the wonder and beauty of physical intimacy just because marriage is not an option for them. Is it fair for a Christian to be stuck in a loveless marriage? Christians have long understood that fairness is not really the question. Sex is not a right but a gift, and the giver knows what is best for us. The giver being God in this case.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And rewriting God's rules is never an option. One of the marks of a Christian is his or her desire to be obedient to Christ's teaching. Certainly most of us would like to rewrite the scriptures to make life easier. Oh, yeah. I would change what Christ says that lust is the same thing as doing the deed. Christianity is a demanding faith. The scriptures define and change us, not the other way around. A biblical sexual ethic does not, indeed cannot, change at the times. So it's set in stone.
Mm-hmm.
People are more than their sexuality. To identify people by their sexuality is to reduce people to their sexuality. Every individual is so much more. A person's inherent and undeniable value is rooted in his membership in humanity, not his particular morality, sexual or otherwise. To advocate for extending rights to someone based on particular or occasionally mutable desires, relationships, and behaviors, as important as they might be to the individual, is actually a violation of the principle of universal human rights. Wow.
Man.
Wow, wow, wow. So basically, Jared.
Yeah.
The point of this whole thing was that because we live in a fallen world, and this is what I wanted to bring the whole point to, was back to what, it really matters, is the biblical part of it, because that's what really matters.
Right.
It means that since we live in a fallen world, stuff like same-sex attraction is going to exist. So you can be a Christian and be gay,
Yeah.
but it's not giving into that desire. That is the struggle. You know?
Right.
And that's all I have to say about that. That's what it is. You can't give into that desire, no matter how strong it is. Because like it said in Genesis, God designed marriage and sex to be between a man and a woman. That's it. No exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. That's all there is to that.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Do you have any views on that before we
No, I
move
think
on?
you pretty much summed it all up for that article.
Yeah.
But
And that's
yeah,
really the
like
most important part of it.
but like to really to wrap the whole discussion up
Yeah, let's
into
wrap
a
this
nice
whole thing
into a
up. Yeah.
nice little bow.
Bo.
Um so basically what we're saying is that, well, I mean, we wanted to cover a lot of things in this podcast, and this is
And we
definitely
did.
this is definitely one of our longer podcasts.
Yeah.
But we just wanted to cover all of these other things that, you know, that are very controversial, yes. But we definitely have some clear views on, like, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
we believe that gender is assigned at birth
From
and
God. Yeah.
from God, and God made you that sex for a reason. You know, it's
Yeah.
that he made you a male or he made you a female because he wanted you to be that. But then the whole like sexual orientation thing, they get that mixed up with gender, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they act like that's they get it confused, and they're like, okay, well, since I like males or I like females, I should be that gender then, or that other
Yeah.
gender, you know? So if I'm like a male and I like males, then I should be a female or something like that. You
Yeah.
know, maybe that was what I was supposed to be. No, that's not. You're getting
It's
it
your
mixed
mental
up.
illness.
Yeah, it's changing your perception of everything. You know, so. And yeah, another thing is that another thing to take out of this is that it's gender identity disorder is a mental problem.
And
You
it's a
know,
serious one.
yeah, it's something that's overlooked as a norm, just as much as like I believe that gender identity disorder is just as much of a disorder as autism is.
Or I like to compare it to schizophrenia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, but just like any of those disorders, it's a disorder. You know, so yeah.
And I wish them Godspeed in dealing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Or deal with it in the right way.
Right. So,
Oh, dude, we are gonna get that concludes that, but we're gonna, like I said before, we're gonna get so many comments.
yeah, I welcome it. Please.
Yeah.
We'll comment, you know, when appropriate. You know, we'll pipe in, you know, if we feel like we need to address something that is said in the comments. But yeah, definitely
give
leave
your
a
views,
comment,
guys,
and
please. Sound off.
you know, if you disagree with us, that's fine. You know, we certainly don't mind having a good discussion, and that'll make
Let's
the whole
do it,
comment
please,
section
yeah.
very lively. And we definitely hope to have a conversation with you guys, because that's the whole goal.
Yes,
you
and
know,
please share this, guys.
yeah,
too.
definitely,
Like if you
definitely
can.
share it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you know, it's not just limited to our accounts. You know, it can be shared on other mediums.
Yes.
So feel free to do that. Is there anything else you wanted to discuss regarding our topic today before we move on to the last thing?
No, I think we covered everything pretty well.
All right, so we do have a special announcement.
Very special, yes.
Aiden informed me of this the other day, and
Yeah.
I was very
Let's give a little bit-
surprised. I was very surprised at this announcement from Aiden. So take it away, Aiden.
Yeah, so as you guys know, I won a music thing. You know, I do my own music thing, right? And I've been producing EDM since, gosh, I want to say since sophomore year of high school, right? Would you say?
Yeah, you've always had an interest in it.
Yeah. But I am officially well, I have to tell you why, first of all, guys. The reason I'm doing this is because I don't think that my music in its current state has been reaching enough listeners. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why that is, but it's been happening. So in order to combat this, I have decided to this is huge. I've decided to completely switch genres. And I've decided to start moving into rap music, actually. So this is huge because, first of all, I love rap, so it's not like I'm just jumping on the bandwagon, guys. So don't comment saying, "Oh, he's just jumping on the bandwagon." No, I've always loved this kind of music, and Joey can vouch for that.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is, I think first what I'm gonna do in order to develop my skills, I'm gonna do covers and post them on YouTube. Now, guys, don't worry, I'm not gonna monetize it. I'm not gonna ask for getting paid for it. I'm just gonna, put them out there, And then as I get better at it, I'm going to start to write my own rap songs and stuff. And hopefully this can turn into something big. Now, for right now, guys, this is just an experiment. I'm just experimenting. Nothing, absolutely nothing is set in stone yet. So
Right. Yeah.
this is just an experiment that I'm doing.
Yeah. You don't want to fully commit to this new genre for you because you don't know if it's exactly something that fits your, like, if you'll actually like it.
Right.
Yeah. There's no way to know that until you actually start testing the waters, I guess.
Yep. Get my
Yep.
toes in before you start swimming. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I am thinking I'll start with one of NF's songs. He's one of my
Okay.
favorite artists. So yeah.
So are you thinking of like posting it on YouTube or something just to test
Yes,
it out?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, you don't want to post
I don't know if
on,
I should make my own off the grid music channel for that, but yeah.
Wait, make your
But
own?
what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna put myself rapping the song or whatever,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna put the instrumental over it, and then I'm gonna try to sync it up with my voice, obviously. But yeah,
Okay.
and then you guys be the judge of how I sound. I could sound absolutely horrible, but that's for you guys to judge. So yeah. So Jared, what do you think about this? Should I do it? Should I not do it? Or like, what is your whole thought process behind this?
I think you should go for it, It's something, try new things, don't just stay in the same spot you're always in, and try to venture out more and try new things and see if something clicks or something sticks, I guess. And maybe you'll be like, "Oh wow, I should have done this a long time ago," or something like that. Try
Yeah.
something that is new and exciting. I think that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, dude, we're on a Zoom conference, for Pete's sake. This is new and exciting. We didn't know what was gonna happen when we went into this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And also, guys, I'm gonna have to get up for a second because I want to show them what I've been working on, actually.
sure.
Just to show you guys what I've been working on. Hopefully this works. I'm gonna show you guys this. Look at this. That's what I've been working on. This little pad that has all my stuff in it. Oh shoot. My little stuff in it. Look at this. Like all this little like rap topics and stuff. I've been
Mhm.
waiting. So yeah. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, that's what I've been working on.
Nice.
So I've already been writing a little bit.
Yeah, gotta get some ideas flowing. Just try not to. I guess some advice for me is, like for writing, God knows how much papers in school. It's just like you just gotta throw your ideas on paper. Don't
yeah.
don't try to make it the most perfect piece of work that you've ever done. Just throw all your ideas onto the paper, get all your ideas out there, and then see what sounds good. If it doesn't sound good, just take it out. I mean, it's simple as that. You don't have to try to make it the most perfect thing like right off the first try, because I'm sure most artists don't do that.
They look for years.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it takes them, probably months and months to get the right lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it takes them a long time, and
It's taken me days to even write down the topics of what I want to even think of rapping about when I move into my own stuff.
Yeah. And
yeah, dude, it is gonna be hard. I mean,
and maybe the topics will come to you over time. Maybe you just need to like throw different things that sound good as a rap, you know,
Yeah.
that sound
So
good
maybe
in
as
that
simple as
genre.
shoes.
Huh?
So then maybe as simple as rapping about shoes.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like hard hitting topics like, you know, how you grew up as a kid and, you know, how you got to the point where you are now. You know, it doesn't have to be like any of those hard hitting topics. It could be something dumb as much as like talk about a shoe, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anything else, Aiden, before we close out for this podcast?
Yeah. I know you don't like rap, but I really do hope that you and a lot of other people will support me in this.
Of course I will.
Because I know you hate that genre, but still. This is I think it's honestly something that I am gonna try, but I think it's honestly something that I love doing. And I really do hope it takes off.
Yeah, I'm really rooting for you, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think that's it. That's the big announcement, guys. I really wanted to tell you guys. Like I was holding it in for like days. I was so excited to tell you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But I'm also kind of nervous because I don't know what people will think.
Yeah, you just gotta try it. There's only one way to know.
I'm putting myself out there to the internet.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, we do that practically every week, but still, I mean,
Right.
yeah. It's a lot different. Talking is a lot different than singing.
That's true.
And one more thing before we close out, though. With rapping, it's even more hard because not only do you have to rap, but you have to absolutely make sure it matches the beat or the whole thing falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be another hard aspect.
Yeah, everything has to work together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So I think that's everything for this podcast. And
Hope you guys enjoyed it.
you just watched episode 39 of Off the Grid podcast, and feel free
Yes.
to like and share it, and leave a comment if you are feeling the need to join in on the conversation, because we will
Yes.
definitely respond to your comments if you know, when needed. So
Yes, sir.
and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can be notified. You can also hit that little notification bell to be notified whenever we upload a new podcast, so you guys can stay
Yes.
updated to our channel.
Make sure to share, comment, like as Joe said, and like.
Yeah, definitely give us likes. We do enjoy those little thumbs up. And if you
Yes, we
dislike
do.
it, just hit the dislike button twice.
Button 2 times, yes.
Yep. And yeah, just in case you hate it so much, you got to hit it twice.
Yep.
Really, it lets us know.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, so see you guys next time on episode 40.
See you guys.
See ya.